Welcome back to the DFS Special.
I'm your host.
Your DFS Jerusalem coming to you live from the
Listen, you got 150 entries and then you're a shark, and I don't fuck with you. So
There's too much good shit on here. This is the often imitated, never duplicated. I'm here with my lovely co-host. Thank y'all. Stay safe. Enjoy. I may have been calling in to work. You're gonna be in the running for the Snowflake of the Year. Get your shit together with your snowflake. I'm at the crib, man, and I'm just finishing up.
stop.
Throw them bitches in the main. I'm telling you. You're gonna see the results, bro. You're gonna see it. This is what's really gonna help you out. You know how I feel about the home dogs. There's a lot of fight in the home dogs, and I really think a lot of shit to go over tonight. Who that scored all them points over there? Player of the night.
Get them in your lineups, get them in there, and let's go get this money.
Thursday, let's go, and remember, in the sweatshop, we always keep it 300. Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop, where I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem. And you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Today, we're going to talk about a little bit of what happened on Sunday, as well as looking forward to today's Monday 10-game MLB slate. Wasn't a very good one for me. Lost my complete buy in both slates, luckily. Saturday, I 5x'd, so I stuck to my bankroll management tactics, and I was able to not lose, not give back the money that I won. So, and that's key. You got to, 10% on slate that you like. Play less if you don't really love the slate. And I really didn't love the night slate because I couldn't really hammer down pitching the way that I like to when I go for 10% or more sometimes. But wasn't a very good one for me. I think the best pitching play that I made all day, or the best play that I made all day, was Clevenger, the Cleveland Indians pitcher that got called up from AAA, had a really solid showing against the Kansas City Royals, and you look to target the Royals. That was more, how do I fit Sale in my lineup and target the Royals, than it was, oh, I'm just so smart, I'm going to make a great play. So it wasn't a very great day for me. Got no Stanton, no Miami for that matter. And if you didn't have Miami, if you didn't have those Boston bats that went off, and usually I say stack Boston, but we hadn't seen those guys hit with the power that we saw them today. 3 home runs we saw from them. Really, really great game from a lot of those cats, man. So, well, it may have been 4 because I think Mookie Betts had like 28 points, so it may have been 4 homers. I don't know, but awesome showing for the Boston Red Sox. Not so great for Chris Sale. That dude was 75% owned in most GPPs. Everybody was on him, and it was a good day to fade him. So you hit, you miss. Sometimes it happens like that. The beautiful thing is you don't play it all, you don't lose it all. You got more to play with, and that's why we're looking ahead to today's 10-game MLB slate. Kicks off at 7:05. But first, before we get into that, I want to give a special shout out to the homie, the big homie today, man. Had a really solid showing in NBA, man. And it says, made 38 times my buy-in tonight. Took down the single entry GPP thanks to the shop fam and the guru. Tonight was my night. And there you go. You see the logo sitting there in first place, man. Really big grab for him. 332.75 points in the MLB single entry. There's a dollar entry. Dollar entry wins 700. Solid. Awesome. Really glad we were able to see that showing from the big homie Chris Sawyer, man. And it was your turn. You just got to show up, bro. You're going to have your turn. You're going to. Really, really solid showing from him. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We're going to pull it up over here on DraftKings Night. As you can see, we've got that 10-game MLB slate. Starts off at 7:05. Inside of that, we do have a 4-game night slate as well as a 3-game late night slate. Now, what you can do, you can make lineups in here and throw them bitches in the main. Okay? So let's go ahead and get this crack and get it opened up. Now, the first game we're going to talk about is the Washington Nationals and the Baltimore Orioles. You know what? 10-mile-per-hour wind going out toward right field. We've got a 0% chance of rain in this game. 61 degrees should be the temperature with a dew point of 36. The Nationals, very hot bats recently. Gio Gonzalez on the mound at 8.7K. Against Kevin Guzman at 6.6. Guzman is a Shelley candidate. We already know that. And the purpose of the first class is to really talk about pitching and no-brainer style batting options. And what I mean by that is, You're going to listen to a lot of guys today before lineups really get set in stone, and we find out who is going to be playing and where, because where players play in the batting order is very important. It's one of the most important things when it comes to MLB DFS. So you can listen to guys talk now about who to play and but nobody really knows the batting order until it comes out at around 5 o'clock Eastern time. So what we're going to be talking about in this video, like most of our episodes, when we do these, is just really the pitching aspects and the implications of each pitcher that we see on the mound. Now, Gio Gonzalez seems to be a very solid play to me. Now, looking over his last few games, 19 fantasy points, 19, 25, 11, 25, 22. Very consistent guy. Very consistent guy. Now, I have not yet seen the Baltimore Orioles this year. Of course, one is a National League team, the Washington Nationals, and the Orioles are over in the American League. There's some interleague play we've got going on. So, I have no issue with playing Gio Gonzalez in the spot. We know that the Baltimore Orioles are a team that can strike out a lot. We see where they're at as far as the Orioles here are 10th in K rate. They're 10th in K rate. So this is a team that can strike out a lot. Now, looking over some of their overall numbers, you're going to see them 22.7% K rate, 155 ISO. They can hit for power in some spots, but that's not really great. That doesn't wow you. 308 team WOBA. Definitely think you can take a shot at Gio Gonzalez in the spot. He's going to be one of the pitchers that I will be having some exposure to. Guzman, on the other hand, not a guy that I like. Going back to this, checking this out. Let's see where the Nats are as far as K rate goes. They're down here, 24th, 20% K rate. Guzman is not a strikeout pitcher. This team does have a huge ISO at 206. Very nice WOBA, 365. So I think he can have some trouble with this order, definitely, especially if we're going to see Bryce Harper. We know he had been sidelined the last game. He hadn't played the last game. So if he's going to be in the lineup today, I definitely would take a shot at him in this spot. The next game we're going to talk about is going to be the Cleveland Indians and the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, here we got Marcus Stroman on the mound and Trevor Bauer. Stroman at 9.4, priced up just a touch in this spot. Looking over the last few games for him, negative 4.65 against my New York Yankees, 28, 29 against Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, negative 0.7 against the Boston Red Sox. The last explosion they had, 21 against Milwaukee, 21 against Tampa Bay. So the dude has been fairly consistent. Outside of those two games that he had, the one most recent against the Yankees and that one on the 18th of last month against the Boston Red Sox. Going against the Cleveland Indians, man, this is a team that hasn't been very consistent hitting the ball, man. And taking a look at where they are as far as strikeout rates, this is a team that are fairly disciplined in their swinging, but they're around middle of the pack when it comes to strikeout percent, right around 21% strikeout rate on the season. And that's not bad, but the knock on Stroman is that he's not a strikeout pitcher. Well, he had a game before last where I think he had 8 Ks. So the guy does have strikeout potential. He does have K potential. And you put that with the fact that we haven't been seeing lightning coming off of those Cleveland bats. I think that he's a guy that is in play as well. Now, Trevor Bauer in his spot, looking over his last few games, -6, 20, 24, 5, and 14. That kind of talks to a little bit of consistency as far as he goes. I think the Toronto Blue Jays bats in this spot are going to be a contrarian play. People have not yet caught up to the fact that I think the Blue Jays have kind of turned it around a little bit. They're getting some solid contact, getting the bat on the ball, and they're going to be moving up from some of those really, really bad places we've seen them in. Now, taking a look at where the Toronto Blue Jays are when it comes to K percentage, they're ninth with 23% K rate. That's a lot. This team can strike out some, and that's what we saw in the beginning of the season. 141 ISO, not so good. 293 WOBA, but I think over the last 5 games that has improved dramatically. They were among the bottom of the league in a lot of these spots. So I definitely think that you can take a shot at a couple of the Toronto bats. The next game we're going to get into is going to be my New York Yankees and the Cincinnati Reds. Now, this one we've got Masahiro Tanaka on the mound against rookie Davis. Now, Tanaka, man, Unpredictable cat, man. Has a ceiling of 33.45 against the Boston Red Sox. So this guy can shut high power offensive down if his stuff is working. Problem is, you don't know when it's going to be because the first game against Tampa Bay, he got shelled for 8. Improved to 8 points against Baltimore, 18 against St. Louis, 24 against the White Sox, 33, peaked at 33 against the Boston Red Sox, and then went back against the Toronto Blue Jays and only scored 13.45 DraftKings points. You're going to need some more than that. At 9.8K, almost 10K in salary, you're going to need more than that. Can he do it against the Cincinnati Reds? That's a team that's been kind of hitting the ball pretty well lately as well. You look at what Billy Hamilton brings to the table as far as being a switch hitter. You look at Joey Votto. The strength of this order, the Cincinnati Reds order, is going to be in those left-handed bats. Even Scott Schebler has gotten into the action lately. So you might want to curb your enthusiasm. Definitely, I would not play Ricky Davis against my New York Yankees. They can definitely pound that kid. 14, -11, 9, and 2 were his last 4 starts. So no issue with playing some of those Yankees guys. I really think you can do that. Next game we're going to talk about is the St. Louis Cardinals and the Miami Marlins. Now, we saw a very solid showing for the Miami Marlins over the last 2 games, man. Stanton, man, Yardy, double Yardy. He went in. He definitely did. And I think, that could continue today. Against Carlos Martinez at 9.8K, not a guy that, I love. I think he's in play. I definitely think he's in play. He's an 8-run total. I definitely think you could play this guy. But, man, I would curb my enthusiasm because you're going to see D. Gordon. You're going to see Christian Yelich, who's a guy that can get into the action. Marcell Ozuna, bat has woken up some. So these are a few guys, man, that's going to give me trepidation when it comes to playing Carlos Martinez in multiple lineups. Adam Conley, over his last few games, 17, -15.65, 16, 7.9, 22. This guy does have the stuff, man. He does. Now, he got caught out there slipping against the Pittsburgh Pirates a few games ago. Let them score about 12 runs on him. Don't see that happening again, even though we have seen some heat come off of those St. Louis Cardinals bats. I think I can get behind Conley simply for the fact he has a high upside at 6.4K. Left-hander, where the left-handers are actually the strength of some of those Cardinals bats. So I definitely can take a shot at Conley in this spot. He's not a guy that I'm going to ignore completely. I'm not like super high, but I won't ignore him completely. The next game I'm going to talk about is the San Francisco Giants and the New York Mets. Now this game, 7.5-run total. We've got 6-mile-per-hour winds going out toward right field. We have Matt Moore on the mound for the Giants and Jacob deGrom. Now, the Giants have been in a funk lately, a real funk lately. They just have not been playing well. And I think this is a really good spot for Jake deGrom. At 10.8, he is the highest salaried guy on the slate. So I imagine the ownership is going to be right there on him. If you think that, deGrom, see, this is a pitching play, in my opinion. If you don't think deGrom is going to bring his A game, then you should attack him. That's what we do in the shop. It's not enough to fade the high-priced pitcher. It's not enough to fade the chalk. What's the point of fading the chalk if you're not going to attack the chalk? And that's what we would suggest you do if you do not like Jake deGrom. However, Jake deGrom is somebody who I think is in a very solid spot. Matt Moore, no Matt Moore for me. No Matt Moore for me. I think I can go back. I think a lot of people are not going to be on these Mets bats after what we saw yesterday, but I think they're still in great spots. So I'm going to have some of those Mets in my lineups. Next game we're talking about is the Kansas City Royals and the Tampa Bay Rays. This is a sneaky game, in my opinion. Now, we've got Blake Snell on the mound at 7.4 and Nate Karns at 7.2. Karns had a really solid game out last time, and I think a lot of people are going to push ownership to his direction. He scored 30 DraftKings points. Before that, against the same team, the White Sox, he had 11.3, 5.7, 13.9, 11.35. So, the guy has been fairly consistent lately. I think that stops here. I like some of those Tampa Bay bats. Give me all the left-handers when it comes to the Tampa Bay Rays. I kind of like those guys as a semi-stack, maybe 2-3 guys there. On the other side, Blake Snell is a guy that I kind of like. I love to attack the Kansas City Royals. All signs are pointing to Blake Snell having a really solid quality start against them. Checking out his last few games, 19, 7.8, 8.45, 13.8, and 9.5. Also had 12.2 against Toronto in the first game. So I think that you can take a look at Blake Snell. I kind of like him in this spot. Eric Hosmer, Alex Gordon, a few of those guys that can hit for them. You look at uh, Bonifacio. Uh, this is not a good order. This is just not. And I love to attack the Kansas City Royals, especially with the pitcher that's at home. So I'm gonna have some exposure to Blake Snell tomorrow. He's a guy that I kind of like. Next game I'm gonna talk about is the Chicago Cubs and the Colorado Rockies. Now this game is an 11-run total. Now you've got to be careful because not only do we have 8 mile per hour winds coming back toward the batter box, you've got a 74% chance of moderate rain. This game could definitely delay or rain out. So you want to be careful with that as you go and build your rosters. Not to fret, this is MLB. We do have late swap. If you do get some of those guys in, you can get them out in time. First pitch of this game goes out at 8:40, so you've got plenty of time to maybe pivot to some of those guys in the later games. But Jake Arrieta is priced at 7.8 in this spot. That's a very cheap price for a very good pitcher. And people always say, oh, you can't play a pitcher in Coors. Oh, pitching in Coors, you can't do it. That's bullshit. You can play pitching in Coors, bro. You can't. Coors is all about contact. If you have a guy that can throw strikes or that is a ground ball pitcher, does not throw a ton of high fly balls, then you definitely can take a shot at a pitcher in Coors. And that's on either side, whether it's from the Coors side, from the Rocky side, or from the Chicago Cubs. So I definitely think that Jake Arrieta is not going to be as highly owned as he should for 2 reasons. Number one, the game possibly is going to delay or rain out. Number two, he's at Coors and people are just scared to play pitchers in Coors. He's going to be a contrarian play that I can get behind at 7.8. Antonio Senzatella, the love fest is over between you and I, brother. I will not take you against these Chicago bats at Coors. I definitely think, Senzatella's not a guy that's a ground ball pitcher that pitches to contact. This is a guy, at those strikes. This is a contact guy, pitches a lot of high fly balls. You do that with the Cubs in Rocky Stadium, the ball's going to leave the yard. The ball's going to leave the yard. So that does put me on some of these Cubs guys, but I do like Jake Arrieta if this game does play. Be careful. Make sure you look. And if you want to get a lot closer in your analysis, make sure you hit us up on the website, dfssweatshop.com. I do a line drive at 5 every day, and I do it at 5 because that's when most of the finalized lineups come out, and then we can really get in and chop it up. We'll already have our pitching plays in place as we're doing now. We'll already have kind of some core stacks that we like, but we can tweak it and finalize it once we know what the lineups are going to be for the day. Because it's nothing worse than saying, oh, yeah, man, I like this cat, and then you find out he's batting 7th in your order, and the guy who's batting 4th in his place, is a better play, and you already got your lineup set that way. So that's why we do that line drive at 5, so we can really hone in on who we like as far as where they're playing in the batting order. Next game we're going to talk about is the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and the Oakland Athletics. Got a couple hot takes about this game. Ricky Nolasco, early Shelly candidate for me at 7.5K. Very solid BVPs from some Oakland guys against him. Taking a quick look at it, and if BVP, if you're not a big BVP guy, I understand. Don't get me wrong, I do understand. But I've been able to really take a look at some of this stuff. And there's some solid shit in here, man. You look at Ryan Healy, man, 12 at bats, he's batting .417 with 3 strikeouts and a home run against Nolasco. Jed Lowry, 12 at bats, he's batting .400 against them. So this is kind of telling me that there's a chance that I can get into a sneaky Oakland stack where people are not going to want to play this guy. People are not those guys. They're not gonna want Matt Joyce batting .333 against them. Nobody's gonna want to play this guy. Stephen Vaught batting .333 against Nolasco. Nolasco is an early Shelly candidate, and I think we can take advantage of that with some of these Oakland bats. I do like that. Looking on the other side, we've got, of course, Kendall Graveman at 6.5, a guy that I kind of like. The only trepidation I have, or the only guy that I think that's gonna get to Graveman, there's 2 of them, and it can be Cole Calhoun can get to him. Of course, Mike Trout. Nobody has to say anything about. Of course, Mike Trout, and then Albert Pujols. Pujols is on a mission to get to 600. I think he's at 596 career home runs. He wants to hit him. He's swinging to hit him. So I definitely think that those are a few guys that if you didn't like Graveman, you could take a shot at. The next game we're going to talk about is the Pittsburgh Pirates and the LA Dodgers. I'm going to say this plain and simple. Give me all the Dodgers lefties in this game. I love them. We've got Trevor Williams on the mound. for the Pittsburgh Pirates at 4.6K. Not a big story left on him. First start here, first career start here. Guy got called up, I believe, from AAA. You know what? Attack mode. Give me some Dodgers in the spot. I love the Dodgers. I know I just gave away some stack shit information that you're supposed to get when you join the VIP, but I gotta tell the truth as I'm talking. I love the Dodgers in the spot. The rookie Bellinger, play that dude. Corey Seager, Justin Turner, who hits really good against right-handers. No issue there. Play these guys. Also going to see Brandon McCarthy, who I think can be a solid play against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Priced at 8.6. It is up a little bit, but I definitely think it's a guy you can take advantage of against the Pittsburgh Pirates. I am not afraid of those bats. Last game on the slate is going to be the Texas Rangers and the San Diego Padres. This is the late night hammer game, man. First pitch goes out at 10:10. We've got Nick Martinez at 5.8 on the mound, and Trevor Cahill, who has had a very solid showing over the last few games, man. Cahill is a player that I kind of like. I kind of like Cahill. I can't lie about that. I mean, this is a guy, the numbers are there. I love, look at those strikeouts. I love 7, 9, 6, 8. I love that. 8, 7. I love the fact this guy can get Ks. I really do, especially against the Texas Rangers. Now, let's go and take a look at the Texas Rangers, see where they stack up as far as strikeouts. If they're a team that has, you know, where they are 6th in the league in strikeouts. 24% K rate for them. That means give me some Cahill. That means give me some Cahill. I like him. I'm gonna say it. Pour him on me, baby. I like some Cahill. Now, and this is a guy too that I think is in a spot. There's a couple of pitchers that are gonna be like this. This is a guy that's in a spot to where I feel like the ownership is gonna be fairly high on him. I think he's gonna be the chalk. I really do. And if you do not like Cahill, you should automatically attack him with some of those Texas bats. Now, Cahill's right-handed pitcher. First place you want to look is at some of the left-handed bats. Guys like my homie Nomar Mazara, maybe some Shin Shu. You might want to take a look at Joey Gallo in the spot, Roughman Odor. If you're not playing, I'm gonna go this far. Any lineup that doesn't have Cahill in it should have some of these Texas Rangers guys. That's just how much this guy's going to be owned, and that's how much the pendulum can swing in your favor if he does not have a solid outing. Now, there is no over-under yet for this game. We do have 11-mile-per-hour winds coming back toward the right batter's box. 64 degrees is the temperature, 0% chance of rain. This game should play without incident. So, give me some Trevor Cahill. If you don't like him, bat against him. That is a solid strategy that we've been using, man. It is called the double dip. It's just not enough to fade a guy, to say, oh, I'm not going to play this guy. It works even better when you play the guys against them, when you stack against them, because there's a reason why you don't like them. See, I'm not here to tell you who to play. I'm here to tell you how to play. I'm not here to tell you. See, some people, they tell you who to play. The guys that are telling you who to play, you know, that's not smart, because nobody's a fucking genius. Nobody has a crystal ball. We all, take our educated guess. Some guesses are more educated than others, but the strategies behind them, the way we play the game, it's probably one winning way to play the game, and that's to hedge where you can. Remember to stick to your bankroll management. Play 10% or less per endeavor. Make some lineups in the turbos or the lates and throw them into the main if you really like them. Very solid sweatshop rules that we go by, we live by. You too can have your turn. We saw the homie Chris Sawyer had his turn last night, and there's one coming for you, most definitely. So this has been your DFS Jerusalem. You can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Thanking you so much for all the support. If you would like to be, or if you want to support the show, there's a myriad of ways you can. You can go to the YouTube page. Look, there's a link that says support the show. Go ahead and do that. You can also become a full-fledged DFS Sweatshop member, and you do that by going to the website at dfssweatshop.com, www.dfssweatshop.com. That's where you're going to get everything we have here, man. We've got it all for you. We've got our live chat area, the YouTube page where you see all of the videos about us, tells you a little about what we do here, our blog section with my articles. As you can see, Guru's Gang goes up every day. Got one coming out for today's slate. Also, there's a spot for you to support here, man, to donate if you wanted to help out the show, help out the channel, help out the webpage. Also, Just great stuff, man. If you want to become a member, man, you come in and join now. It says 50 cents a day. Have a cup of coffee, and you can definitely be a part of the fam. So thank you all so much. And we also have our year-long package as well for $119. Get you a full calendar year of all the sports. Now remember, now this is probably going to go up some when NFL starts, just because it's going to be a lot more live stream and stuff. So if you cop your year-long package now, it's going to take you all the way through NFL. So make sure you do that. Get that done. That's a special that we're running. Just want to thank you all so much, man, for your support, man, and making us the most highly subscribed DFS, indie DFS channel on YouTube. It's awesome. Thank you so much. Much love for y'all, man. And meet me in the line drive at 5. If you want to know how to get there, go to the website. Go ahead and subscribe. Get in, and I will usher you into the very best Facebook group online where we can chop it up play by play. You have direct access to me. I do 2 live streams per day inside of the Facebook VIP, and that's where we get it in. That's where we chop it up. So if you want to do what the homie did, keep it 300, because he kept it 332. Come on in, man. Much love to you. Gotcha. And y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Get the week started off right. Keep it 300. I'll see you on the next time.